All right, let me also put out some information for people to understand why Ripple scares the bejesus out of the big banks, pretty much the big banks in Europe and America, mostly America. Let me explain the reason why. Take a look at Ripple. You know their coin, you know their market space, the technology is scalable. They're gonna have a gazillion bazillion dollars on it, and they got partnerships all over the place. Now hold on to your hats for 1 second. Imagine if Ripple one day applies for a banking license in the United States. Think about that for a second. Can you imagine that? Ripple Bank? You probably wasn't thinking about that one, right? Ripple will have the money. Ripple will have the system to move money back and forth, an amazing ledger. Could you imagine if Ripple one day, which I know it's going to come, if Ripple one day just says, hey, we're going to provide banking services. Now, you may think that's far-fetched, but at the end of the day, their entire system of business is based on providing technology and liquidity. So technology for messaging, the money messaging back and forth, replacing SWIFT, and having liquidity via the coins. They're going to have the money. They're going to be as large as Amazon. So stock-wise, that company is going to be a monster, a behemoth. But what's to stop them from one day turning around and going, hey, we could do banks? Because in today's world, to have a bank, you don't need branches. All you need is a phone. That's the new bank. That app on your phone, that digital wallet. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? The future that Ripple has around the world has not been written yet based on that technology. Now, let's face it, things can go left, right, whatever, but let's just move over to somebody else that when they started talking about banking, it also terrified the boys on the street. Apple. Apple has, same thing with Amazon, but Apple has a bazillion gazillion dollars. They create their own phones, their own operating system. So with one of these suckers, they can provide banking services around the world, but they needed one thing. They needed to have that connection for liquidity around the world. They got it now. They partnered up with Ripple. Do you understand why everybody's been going against this technology and this coin? Listen, is it security, not security, whatever? This case ain't never going to go to trial. And listen, like I said, I'm not even against the SEC. I know a bunch of people there. At the end of the day, listen, government's government. That's how it goes, okay? We know how that goes. Peace, my motherfuckers. But at the same time, you need to understand something. You can't stop this technology. First they ignore it, then they try to stop and all kinds of stuff, whatever. But this is it. There's no way around it. Think about it. They're sitting with the big boys on ISDA. That's not a small feat, okay? BIS has already adopted them specifically, and XLM as far as their stablecoin. What is that telling you about the future of this? So for the people who want the big number, whatever, I'm telling you right now, Ripple will be the monster that people said, I should have done this. I should have done this, because it ain't a stock. XRP is not a stock. It's not in the stock market. There's no broker. There's no Citadel trying to whatever. They can't. This coin is going to be in actual use. It can't be, this is not like a situation where they take a shit coin, they buy a bunch of it, and they pump and dump it every day in order to make the price go. They can't do that with this. Because this is a direct messaging system for liquidity within bankers. They're not going to alter that. That's not the way it works. All the other shit coins, they give money to developers to create a shit coin through a shell company. Then these bunch of coins are given to another shell entity, and then that is sold and bought, sold and bought, sold and bought, and then they make the money on the rising client, drops, clients, rises. They do that. You can't do that here. They don't own XRP Ripple. This has nothing to do with them. That's what terrifies them. So just imagine if Ripple one day becomes a bank. Put that in the back of your head.